So I got a comment not too long ago from Francois Lapine, and thank you so much for the comment. I love what he says. He says, "Come on, man, breaking traction for 10 to 15 feet's hardly a power slide. Make a video when the slide is a few hundred feet long. You managed to stay on the groom line and left a skiable surface behind you. In a slide, even one as short as yours, throwing the track uphill in reverse is a sure way of leaving a mess behind you at best, and a very possible way of detracking the machine at worst." Francois, you are absolutely correct, and thanks so much for your comment. And I looked back in a lot of the videos I've been recording on my camera, and I found a few videos of me sliding, and I want to share those with you, the good things and the fails. Now, the video he's referring to is this one. If you haven't watched it, here's the link. And this was recorded, one of the very first videos I put out. I recorded the new guy, and he hadn't slid before in the cat. I wanted to introduce him to a difficult corner, and just to see how he would react to kind of this steep 90-degree corner. And so that's what this video is about. He had only been in the cat for about 2 weeks when I took this video. Here I am at the top of the hill in the fog, and it snowed some new snow yesterday, and I know this run's going to be slick. And so there's a few things I'm going to do to set it up and get ready, so it'll minimize the damage and have the best chance of success staying straight going down this run. First thing I want to do is set up the blade. My tilt, I'm going to keep it pretty mellow. I don't want to cut much. Worst case scenario, you can use the blade to deflect you if you start sliding out of control. I don't anticipate that to be a problem on this one, but I'm going to be ready anyway. Chances are on this run it's going to try to make me slide to the right, and so I'm going to set up the blade and tilt it just a little bit that direction, so if I have to, I can set the blade down and have it deflect me to the left. And then I am going to slow the tiller rotation down just a little bit. The tiller actually does propel you forward. The key that I've learned in sliding is keep the tracks moving. It's easy to panic, especially if you're sliding into the fog. Just keep those tracks moving at a steady and even pace. If you do need to adjust or turn the tiller, I can swing the tiller back and forth, and that acts as a rudder to help steer. One final thing I'm going to do is as you can see, the tracks are moving slower than the ground is, and so I am sliding, but this is a pretty mellow slide. Historically on this run, I've had some pretty fast passes through here, so this one's not too bad. But the important thing is the setup ahead of time, just to anticipate. That's kind of the main thing. So we'll jump ahead to one that didn't turn out quite as good. So you can see the blade is tipped to the left with the left wing all the way forward. This is anticipation of a tendency to slide to the right because the fall line changes. You can see there's a really steep fall line off to the right, and as I bust this drift off, all the snow is going to flow out the right side of the blade and kind of down the hill, which is setting me up for disaster on the next passes. This is a steep run, and you can see just dumping a lot of new snow So that's gonna cause some serious problems. Okay, here I'm starting to pick up some speed, and it's starting to deflect me to the right. But I have my blade set up, and I don't know if you can see it too good, but the left wing is going to be folded out right here, and I'm trying to deflect myself around this corner at the bottom, and it turns out pretty good, but that's not a beautiful pass. But I knew that was going to happen. I've done this run enough times to know that it's going to take a few passes to get this one cleaned up. So I'm actually on the third pass here. The second pass I had some camera problems. It actually turned out okay. I held the line, although it did leave a pretty good berm on the left side. That's to be expected because I'm moving so much snow. I will have to go over this again anyway. But anyways, I start down the steep part. There's still a lot of snow. I'm trying to move off to the right-hand side. I'm starting to lose traction here. The snow's really loose because I've groomed it. And sure enough, I start sliding. I can't hold it. And off the line I go. And into the trees. Just experiencing this again made me so thankful that we have a winch cat. This used to be an every night occurrence before we had the winch cat. And so as fast as I can, I get back online just to pack down the snow. I know I'm going to have to go over this entire run again. And so just whatever I can do to get it smooth this first pass. I'll have to wait at least an hour, maybe 2 hours before I come back in here and let that snow set up. So I wanted to see how the bison did in some new snow and see if it'll slide and how it handles in a slide. So with that, let's jump in and see what happens. And the good news is it feels like it's holding up pretty good. I'm not in a real bad slide. It's a little bit swimmy coming down through here. Oh, there we go. So the secret in the sliding is keeping the tracks moving forward at the same speed. Yeah, so I'm not following the line very good here at all. So I can straighten it around. I can use the tiller as a rudder, but I'm always careful not to use the blade too much because the snow is already loose in front of me, and I don't really want to make it any looser than it already is. Alright, I'm going to pressure up a little bit more, and there we go. Now we're moving. Oh, and not going a very straight line, so dial the speed up just a little bit. I'm always trying to match the track speed with my ground speed, and that's the thing, is to always keep those tracks moving forward, keep the grousers cleaned out. So that wasn't the cleanest pass I've ever done, but not the worst pass I've ever done either.